I'm Dr. Angie Resendez, and this is my husband,
Ernesto.
And we want to share a follow-up to the blog that I posted last week. So if you had a chance to read the blog, we talked a little bit about how we decided on the location of our birth. So as you read in the article, we did go through IVF, and very quickly we were asked to choose who we were going to transfer our care to, and we were highly suggested to transfer to an OB. And being a doula and a prenatal chiropractor, that didn't seem like the right place for me, but it seemed like the right place for my husband. So we were on different sides of the spectrum as to where we wanted the location to have our birth. So we're going to talk a little bit about how we came together to make an empowered decision to where we wanted a birth. So Ernesto, would you like to talk a little bit about what seemed like the logical place to birth and kind of some of the reasons why you thought that would be best or ideal, or just what you were familiar with?
So I was familiar with, I guess, other alternatives through you being a doula and home births, but I guess I never thought about it for us, just because I guess for my mindset, I was just used to the whole hospital, and that's, I guess, the logical place that people have their births. So I wasn't as familiar with the alternatives, such as home births, which I didn't realize how much of a small percentage of couples have a home birth. And after doing some research and just some well-timed NPR podcasts, I guess, I listened to the history of the midwifery in the South, I guess, like in Alabama and states like that, and how that was like illegal up until recently because it was thought that midwives were not educated and it was all done at home. So that was kind of listening through that and hearing about how today midwives are nurses and they're trained specifically to deliver or through that process, and they kind of look at different stages of they only allow basically moms that are low risk and that type of stuff. So it kind of made me feel more comfortable with the idea, and then slowly kind of learning more about it through the midwives that we met, and then kind of talking to my mom about it as well, how she felt comfortable with it as well. She was kind of all for the all natural process, I guess, of delivering at home, because she had I'm one of 3 siblings, so she had me and my younger brother naturally vaginally delivered. So and she was very against drugs and all that stuff. So
awesome. And that's so true, because in America, 98% of women do birth in hospitals, but now it's becoming more popular for women to really seek out other options outside of the hospital. So we definitely looked at birthing centers that were in hospitals. We looked at birthing centers that were standalone buildings. We definitely looked at hospital births with OBs, and then hospital births with midwives, like I mentioned. And then lastly, we explored the home birth option, which was our last interview with the last midwife we have. So one of the things we want to definitely point out is to interview different midwives. And I would say that we interviewed 4 or 5 different midwives and hospitals and locations to really get a feel of where we felt good, where we felt safe. And at the end of the day, we want to remind moms and dads and partners that wherever you decide to birth, whether it's the hospital, whether it's a birthing center, or whether it's home, the best place to birth is where you feel the most comfortable, and where together you feel that, based off of your research, based off of all the information that you looked at and interviewing these professionals, where you feel the best and the most comfortable. Some of the statistics that I did want to share, being a doula, being a chiropractor who empowers women to make empowering choices in their health. One of the reasons that home birth I was so passionate about was because it really is a safe place to birth. It's where you feel comfortable, because obviously you're home, you're in your own environment, you're in your own bed, you're familiar with everything that's in your house. And so some of the statistics show that birthing centers and home births are actually having less than a 6% cesarean rate, which is pretty successful considering the fact that on average in America, hospitals have a 24% cesarean rate. And when we did look at some of the hospitals in our area, there's some hospitals that have over 30% cesarean rates. So for us, because we know I'm a low risk mom, we're healthy, we're doing everything we can, getting adjusted, acupuncture, eating well, moving, exercising, great prenatal vitamins, we felt like a home birth or birthing center would be the best option. And so if you guys have any questions on kind of our birth journey or how we got to the conclusion, or if any parents or dads are confused or have hesitation, because usually it's the dad that has a little bit more of a hesitation, please send us an email or send us a message to our office, and we'll definitely try to answer some of those questions or concerns. One of the books that we definitely recommend that I absolutely love is the Mama Naturals book by Genevieve Howland. It's definitely a great book. It goes through all different weeks of pregnancy. It goes through different options, how to choose a birth professional, some of the things to look for, lots of affirmations and words of affirmations, especially for our first-time moms who aren't familiar with what's going on. Definitely a great empowering book for you to go ahead and read. So and next week, we're going to go ahead and talk about the importance of stress in pregnancy. So we know that there's so many different changes that are happening, and we get scared. There's fear that goes into us, and just what that means for our pregnancy, not only for us but for our babies, as well as what stress can do during labor, and why making sure that we get our nervous system to have better balance between parasympathetic and sympathetic is so important. So stay tuned, and we will definitely update you guys as we go through our pregnancy. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.